Well, the Coyote load gets canceled on a Friday afternoon, so I got to scramble to find more loads. Got those covered. A car flipped over a guardrail. Another driver who doesn't seem to know the rules of the road. Cool tunnels. A rusty wellness update. Load updates and more in this episode of
The Clutch Trucker Channel.
Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker Channel. Alright, here it is, Monday the 18th, September. I'm on I-65 northbound in Indiana, just a few miles away from the TA Seymour. Suddenly Seymour. Anyway, I parked it there. I tried to park there once, I don't know, a couple of years ago. The place had burned to the ground. I guess they had a bad kitchen fire or something. It's been rebuilt. I think the parking lot's still the same and probably has not been updated. But, so that's about as far as I can make it today. I had to scramble and grab a couple of different loads because the Coyote load I was on fell apart. I get to the shipper on Friday to pick up after I delivered my lignite in Rothschild, Wisconsin. And the shipper's like, yeah, we don't have that on our schedule today. You're going to have to call them back, blah, blah, blah. After going back and forth on the phone with Coyote for at least an hour. Then they finally decided, yeah, it's not going to happen, and we're going to have to give you a TONU, which is truck ordered, not used, which means they're going to throw me about $150 for the fact that I drove there and then couldn't get the load. So I had to scramble to find a couple loads real quick. Picked up a load of tractor parts that was 30 miles away in Mosinee, Wisconsin. Brought that down to John Deere
In 3/4 miles, take exit 50A on the right to US 50 East, then take the first right.
Thank you, Garmin. Greenville, Indiana. So did that this morning, then I picked up another load. It just said paper. Well, turns out it's US mail going to Minneapolis, because that'll set me up for the load I already had booked for Wednesday of the cereal going back to Cheyenne. So I had to fill a couple of holes there and try to make some money. And then, of course, at the end of this week, Friday, I'll have the lignite again going back to Wisconsin. And it looks like that I might have to fill some holes again after that. But so that's what we're doing. And did catch some stuff off the Dashcam. I got a car when I was coming back towards the cereal load last week over the guardrail in Minnesota. That's something interesting. Also, another driver who didn't seem to know any of the rules of the road. A couple of cool tunnels. That's all going to be coming up.
Exit 50A on the right to US 50 East, then take the first right.
Also, Rusty's not with me right now. That's why he wasn't there in the opening. He had another follow-up appointment at home. So they checked him out. They gave us some more of the drugs for that problem he had if that ever pops up again. So I'll have some with me. And now he did get his vaccination. So when I bring him back out on the road, I can try to get him
Half mile, turn right on South Commerce Drive.
Because of course I couldn't do that before. Because he really needs to be groomed. He's a fur dog. So right now, like I say, we're getting off here. This is about as far as I can make it. I could drive a little bit more, but then I'm getting too
Right
close
at the traffic light.
Indianapolis, where there would be no place to park, and I'd have to go past it. And I didn't feel like driving that long tonight. So we shall go check out the TA here and see what that looks like.
Get Travel Centers of America on the left.
Thank you, Garmin. I remember now I did try
At the traffic light, then exit right.
Garmin, you're done. Garmin, okay, Garmin, stop route. Get her to shut up. I do remember trying to
Route
stop.
canceled.
Yeah, thank you. I do remember trying to stop here once when the building had burned down, and they still had the parking lot open. And I remember parking here, but there was no facilities of any kind. There was no fuel or anything. So I've only been here once. I don't really remember how this lot was set up. Looks like the reserves are here to the right if I feel like doing a reserved. Well, they're kind of nice. I see, even though I don't have Rusty with me, I'm always looking for spots for Rusty. But I don't have to worry about that. Those are blindside back. Why they paint spots blindside back in some of these truck stops is beyond me. I never understand that. I can use an ultra credit to pay for a spot if I feel like it. I really don't feel like doing that. Let's see what else we can find. I got good stuff to eat tonight. I don't need to worry about that. Get back into one of these. These are nice and flat. We'll just take a gander through the lot. Well, I think I may take one of these reserved ones here. They look nice and flat, then the sun will be behind me. Unless somebody's a giant jerk with a scale right there, they shouldn't be able to park there and block me in. You can say, unless they're a giant jerk, but there's plenty of those out there. Alrighty, these are a nice angle back, so we can just get into that one right there. Bounce on the scale a little bit here to do it. Straighten her out. Guy jogging here to my left. I'll try to sneak in before he needs to go by. Alrighty. That'll work. Alright, so here we are safely parked at the TA Seymour. Suddenly Seymour is standing beside me. Little shop of horrors. Anyway, Seymour, Indiana. And so, yeah. Now I'm on my way back up to Minneapolis. That, like I said, the Coyote load got canceled before, so I had to scramble and get some things covered. Found a load through RXO. We had already been pre-signed up with them. Elliot had done one for them, and so I was able to book that one down to Greenville, Tennessee, with the tractor parts for about $1,700. Not great, but not terrible considering I'm scrambling at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. And then right after that, as I was on the way down there, I booked this other load, this Ryan one that I'm on now. Which was supposed to be paper, picking up in Danville, Kentucky, going back up to Minneapolis to set me back up for the serial load. That one's paying $1,600. Again, not great, but not terrible, considering how bad the rates are right now. Honestly, it's kind of nice since I've been doing the lignite and the serial runs now for the past few months. It's kind of nice to go a different direction for a change. And so a little change of scenery and everything, baby, yeah. So on our way back up, and that's why I'm not on I-65. I really never have been on I-65 north of, between Louisville and like Indianapolis very often, only a handful of times really in my whole 13 years. I just always forget how bad the Indiana roads are. Knock your freaking teeth out. All right, let's get to some of the Dashcam stuff I talked about. When I was on my way down to get the cereal last week in Minnesota, I was coming down just to get back onto 35 and look over to the right, and there's this car over the guardrail. All right, I'm coming down the on-ramp, and look over there to the right. You got the cop, and right there, hello, a car over the guardrail. How did that happen? And now the clutch truckers zoom and slow-mo. Since there's no guardrail damage, look at that. All I can assume is maybe they came from above. That's just weird. Then after that Coyote load got canceled and I'm heading back down now towards Mosinee, Wisconsin, I was just coming across the bridge, about to turn left to get onto Highway 29, which is a nice divided highway. About to make the left turn, cars are coming the other way, and they stop for me when they have the right of way. Alright, I've just crossed the bridge. I'm moving into the left lane so I can turn left onto Highway 29. Of course, I need to cross that traffic, so I have to yield. And look at this guy coming up there. I'm starting to turn, and I slow down, and they stop. Hello! You've got the right of way, go! So then running the load down to Greenville, Tennessee, instead of going down through Knoxville and back over, I took the shorter route. Cuts off about 30 miles, but it's about the same amount of time because it's a smaller highway. You go through lots of little towns. but it's more of a scenic drive, and so I wanted to do that, and a cool little tunnel you go through. And speaking of tunnels, after picking up in in Danville, Kentucky today, I took the outer loop around Louisville to avoid going near downtown because it was around rush hour. And you got to pay either way. You got to pay that bridge, the new one they put in just to go into Indiana from the downtown area of Louisville, or you go around the loop and you got to pay for that bridge. So I opted to go around that way. You go through a little tunnel there. And here we are, just about to cross out of Kentucky into Indiana. And you go through this tunnel first, really cool little tunnel, and then you go over this new bridge, and this is actually the state line. One of these newer bridges that I really like. I like this style of bridge with the large structure above, and then the lines coming down on each side. This is the newer version of a suspended type bridge. It's kind of like the newer version of what they had like at the Golden Gate Bridge. This is what they're doing now, and I really like the look of these. I think they just look really sleek, really clean. They just have a really cool look to them, and I always love going over these type of bridges. There's one on the east side of St. Louis going to Illinois. It looks very similar. And now, the Rusty Report on the Clutch Trucker Channel. Oh yes, Rusty not with me, and the reason is he had a follow-up vet appointment because, you know, remember if you watched my videos a few weeks back, he was not doing good, barely able to move around. Turns out they said he had really bad arthritis, so they gave him some medication for that, and so he was doing much better. He's been with me, you know, recently, but he had to stay home because on Thursday he had a vet appointment, so I had to leave him there after I delivered in Cheyenne, and then now hopefully I'll be able to pick him up again when I come back through this coming Thursday when I deliver again in Cheyenne, before I head up to Glen Rock to pick up the lignite again. So we'll get Rusty back in the truck, because it is tough not having him in the truck with me, because as I said earlier, when I was pulling in here, I'm always looking for the grass, looking for the place to park for the dog, never really concerned about me. And of course, I'm so used to anytime I park and stop anywhere real quick to run in, I'm always going, "I'll be right back, Rusty," and I'm like, I'm talking to nobody. And like I said, they did give him the other vaccination he needs, so then he'll be good to be groomed again, so, because boy does he need it. So I'm hoping, I've had him groomed in Rapid City at the PetSmart there before. I'm hoping then I can maybe get an appointment for Friday or Saturday morning or something there in Rapid City and get him groomed, since I have a little more time over the weekend to make that lignite run all the way to Wisconsin. What do you think? And right as I was putting this video together, thanks to the Ring doorbell, you see my whole family there out on the porch. They were taking Rusty out, so here's some Rusty. It's Samantha, it's Ben, it's Mommy, and I assume there's a dog in the yard or something.
Yes, you got it.
Rusty! Rusty dog!
Let's figure it out. He's confused. Come here. Here, look in the doorbell.
Hey, there's Rusty. Hi, Rusty.
There's Rusty. He's like, hi.
Alright, so that's about it for this video. On the next video, I want to talk about toilet chemicals. So I've been using this stuff for my cassette toilet here behind my seat here in the truck, because you can't get the formaldehyde stuff anymore, the good stuff. So I've had to try different things. So I'm going to talk about that in the next video, and how the ATA, or American Trucking Association, is once again lying to America like they tend to do every year. That'll be in the next video. Alright, thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe, please like and comment. I get your comments as soon as I can. Sometimes takes a few days because I'm a working truck driver. Clutch Trucker on Instagram, Clutch Trucker on Twitter, where I usually put Rusty stuff. Don't forget to ring that bell for notifications, you know when the new videos come out. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty at home, out. Look, mister, I don't care for you or the putrid sludge you're trolling out, but I'm an officer sworn to uphold the law. So I'll go find your stench-ridden boxes of smut, but since I'll be doing it holding my nose, I'll be doing it with one hand. Hi, Rusty. Rusty! Rusty dog!
Let's figure it out. He's confused. Come here. Here, look in the doorbell.
Hey, there's Rusty. Hi, Rusty.
There's Rusty. He's like, hi. Where he is.